So, how does this mirror work? No plug, no cables, nothing to connect it to the Wi-Fi. All that's left is, magic! Come on! Here goes, magic mirror on the wall. When will my friends come to see me? Ooh, you're here! Well, that was quick. Entirely expected, you might say, because I'm a talented wizard, and you've missed me. I mean, I've missed you. Welcome, friends, to this wonderful, enchanting, magnificent, and absolutely fantastic new episode from the heart of the magic of Disneyland Paris. We're about to enter a world of dragons, magicians, princes, and princesses, singing animals and flying elephants. A world for dreamers, young and old. A world where fairy tales come to life. Because we're going on a tour of Fantasyland. So grab your magic wand. Place your most beautiful crown upon your beautiful head. Slip on your glass slippers or squeeze into your shiniest armor. And prepare to embark on a fairy tale adventure, starting with the most famous of opening lines. Once upon a time. Our story begins in front of Le Château de la Belle au Bois Dormant, Sleeping Beauty Castle, at the end of Central Plaza. It's impossible to miss this iconic symbol of Disney magic. Take a moment to count its towers. How many do you see? Yes, there are 16. A reference to the age of a certain Disney princess, the one who gave her name to the castle, Aurora, our Sleeping Beauty. This is not the only or first Sleeping Beauty castle in the world. The first is at Disneyland Resort in California, a design inspired by European castles, and more specifically, Neuschwanstein Castle in Bavaria. Our Sleeping Beauty castle is, however, very different. For Disneyland Paris, the park's magicians, our very own Imagineers, wanted to build a castle unlike any of the amazing castles we already have on our doorstep here in Europe. Their aim was to create something grandiose and magical, but with some historical and fun French touches too. Just look at its delightful Gothic shape, its colorful stained glass windows reminiscent of the Loire Valley castles, its pennants bearing the iconic D of Disney, and its staircase that gracefully wraps around the central tower. And as for its majestic silhouette rising towards the sky, doesn't that remind you of anything? Here, the Imagineers were inspired by Mont Saint-Michel for its elegant and slender architecture. And that's not the only Norman influence, since Walt Disney's ancestors actually lived in France during the Middle Ages. The name Disney comes from the village of Isigny-sur-Mer, which became Dissigny and then Disney, pronounced the American way as Disney. And the circle is complete. Isn't that beautiful? We even find a Disney family crest on the stone arch that connects the castle to La Chaumière des Sept Nains to the west. Don't forget the gold. All royalty needs gold. If you look towards the top, you'll see the weather vanes have been gilded by master craftsmen. Some towers even have a few surprised guests. Gold snails! Apparently, American Imagineers prefer to see snails escaping the royal kitchens rather than sitting on their plates. Run, little snails! Or should I say, crawl quickly! With a little luck, you can take refuge in the square trees that line the castle. No, you're not dreaming. I did say square trees, another visual reference to the Disney classic Sleeping Beauty. The landscapers even had to go all the way to Arizona to find some cypress trees for this unusual appearance. You could say that they are the height of fashion among plants. But don't be fooled by their chic style. These trees have a practical purpose, to hide a well-kept secret under the castle. Speaking of little secrets, did you know that all Disney castles face north? The Imagineers planned this so that the sun would never be behind them. This ensures that you and I can take beautiful photos of all these castles all day long, without fear of being blinded by the brightest backlight in the solar system. Okay, come on. One last photo and we'll move on. I'm afraid we've been hanging around too long, and the other guests are starting to wonder if we're casting a spell on the castle. Maybe to paint it blue. No, pink. Pink is better. Or blue? Nah, pink. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm getting sidetracked again. It's just that I daydream as soon as I set foot in Fantasyland. I think I'm a fairy, a wizard, and sometimes a knight. Follow me! Let's storm the castle. We could take the drawbridge, but I have a better idea. For the more daring amongst you, let's head to the small, gently sloping path to the west and enter La Tanière du Dragon, the dragon's lair. In this dark, humid cave hides a terrible creature, a sleeping beast 3 meters high and almost 24 meters long. But don't be fooled by its peaceful snoring. This 2-ton monster won't hesitate to roar if disturbed. No, I'm not even scared. But since we still have a lot to see, and I have no intention of ending up as a flying reptile snack, I advise you to take the stairs which go back up towards the castle, and away from those terrifying teeth. Here we are at Merlin l'Enchanteur, a medieval wizard's workshop, perfect for discovering the magic of glass craftsmanship. I'm simply blown away. Blown away? Glass blower? Get it? Once outside the shop, we are in the heart of Sleeping Beauty Castle, its majestic hall. Looking from left to right, we see that the raw stone gives way to splendidly engraved columns, as if the castle were alive and magically building itself. Everyone, be polite to the living castle now, eh? I wouldn't want to catch a curse. And if you look to the very top, you will notice the floral ogives, which are inspired by the ceiling of La Sainte-Chapelle in Paris. Fancy a closer look? Go on your tippy toes. Let's take the stone staircase leading to la Galerie de la Belle au Bois Dormant, the Sleeping Beauty Gallery. The animals of the forest, accompanied by Maleficent's faithful raven, watches us from the bas-reliefs carved into the stone. Listen! The dreamlike melodies floating through the air. They're setting the mood. Once you reach the top of the mezzanine, the tale of Aurora, the princess who survived the curse of the evil fairy Maleficent, is told to us through the color-stained glass windows, refined tapestries, and illuminated grimoires. Each stained glass window was made specially for Disneyland Park by a British master glassmaker, while the tapestries were hand-woven by a legendary group of artisans from Aubusson, a commune famous for being the place where French royal tapestries were once made. A team fit for royalty. I just hope no one has pricked themselves on the spinning wheel. We would like to avoid another sleeping spell if possible, thank you. Oh, speaking of sleep, listen to these 2 suits of armor at the end of the gallery. No, don't try to wake them up with a kiss. I've already done this, and I can confirm that they prefer to be left in peace. There is no time for us to fall asleep. We have so much more to see. After heading out onto the balcony to admire one of the most beautiful views of Fantasyland, and take a few photos, let's go back down the spiral staircase. I'll now take you to the castle's courtyard, where a sword lies plunged into an anvil on top of a big stone. This is, of course, Excalibur, King Arthur's magic sword from the Disney classic, The Sword in the Stone. Budding knights from all across the land come here to try their luck at removing the sword and proving their claim as the rightful King of England. Come on, I'm going for it. Yeah, come on, it's moving. Almost there. No, nowhere near. Whew. Maybe I've loosened it for the next king. Okay, let's move forward through the cobbled streets to the central square at the heart of the enchanted kingdom of Fantasyland. What am I saying? Enchanted? kingdoms. This is because, as well as paying homage to many Disney classics, Fantasyland is also a tribute to the many European fairy tales that inspired them. This is therefore divided into different kingdoms, each one representing a different European country. These kingdoms invite knights, princes, princesses, and magicians from all backgrounds to explore magical settings, to test new enchantments, to dance until midnight, and not 1 minute more, huh? We wouldn't want to turn into a pumpkin. To fly away to Neverland, to be captivated by a spellbinding puppet show. In short, to live the dream. Let's cross the small French village that includes Sleeping Beauty Castle, the charming Auberge de Cendrillon, whose roofs are inspired by the Hospice de Beaune in Burgundy, and La Confiserie des Trois Fées, where Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather bewitch our taste buds with their sweets. I'll let you stock up on treats. We're gonna need them, because a little further on, over there, by the imposing dark walls and sloping Germanic roofs, a mysterious adventure awaits. Blanche-Neige et les Sept Nains, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Brace yourself, the evil queen is watching from her balcony. Released in 1937, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was the first ever animated feature film, and this attraction lovingly brings it to life. By using ultraviolet light, also known as blacklight, paintings representing scenes from this iconic film shine with a captivating shimmer that, for once, has nothing to do with the evil queen's magic mirror, but rather the ingenuity of the Imagineers. Once you've boarded a minecart, don't forget to sing, "Hi-ho, hi-ho, I'm the fairest of them all." What do you mean those aren't the words? I know. You are the fairest of them all. The setting for Snow White is based on the Tyrol region of the Alps. And I suggest we stay here and immerse ourselves in another Disney tale from this region, Pinocchio. This story of a wooden puppet who dreams of becoming a real boy is an adventure like no other, where a wish really does come true. Board a wagon and let yourself be guided by your lucky star through new landscapes, from Geppetto's workshop to the belly of the gigantic whale called Monstro, via Stromboli's puppet theater, and, not to forget, the island. I told you to stock up on sweets, because you should avoid the treats on the island, even if the streets paved with cookies and gumballs really make you want to. No, I have to stay strong and resist temptation. Anyway, I don't like sweets. Nah, I'm not lying. Look, my nose hasn't moved 1 centimeter. Maybe a little. Come on, a quick trip to Geppetto's workshop to smooth all that out, and let's continue. I'll be waiting for you in the center of the village square, where we can admire together the Grand Carrousel de Lancelot, a tribute to Camelot, the legend of King Arthur, and the bravest knights of the Round Table. Look at its majestic details, the royal emblems like the fleur-de-lis, the heraldic motifs of the Middle Ages, and the fierce steeds waiting to be let loose. The 16 splendid horses riding on the outer rim of the carousel was sculpted specially for Disneyland Paris, a feat when you consider that they all weigh over 100 kilos. Beautiful beasts. The carousel has a total of 86 horses, so don't panic, there'll be enough for everyone. And the secret to keeping these trusty steeds in tip-top condition? Every night, they sleep in the land's stables. The colorful building, right there, just behind the carousel. Let's go there now. As we approach, we're greeted by a majestic statue of Goofy in his finest armor. And if we continue, we enter Sir Mickey's boutique. Amid this medieval setting, several tales are honored, such as The Brave Little Tailor and Mickey and the Beanstalk. The littlest of knights among us will be able to spot the big eyes of Willy the Giant through the window on the ceiling, there, behind a branch on the beanstalk. Let's get out quick before he catches us. Huh? What do I see in the distance? Is it a bird? A dragon? A witch riding her broomstick? A colorful fairy? No! It's a flying a flying elephant! Dumbo the Flying Elephant is an enchanting aerial attraction with a stunning view of all of Fantasyland. Following the tempo of Timothy, the mouse, and his black feather, all the elephants soar around in circles together. Woo-hoo! I don't know about you, but I feel so light. Aren't they too cute with their rainbow-colored hats? Oh, I hope you don't get dizzy because we are now flying over a charming little British house that has a bell tower topped with a weather vane in the shape of a pirate ship. Do you see it? Let's swoop down on Peter Pan's flight. Woo! All that's left to do is land very smooth. Yeah. Okay, we can't all be as graceful as Tinkerbell. Talking of Tink, she's the one who'll help us make our pirate ship fly on this attraction that's full of childhood happiness and adventure. Come on, a little pixie dust, a happy thought, and... Whoa, we're flying! Look below, there's the London skyline. And Neverland is a festival of colour and magic in the heart of a beautiful starry night. Can you see the Mermaid Lagoon and Captain Hook's red and gold galleon? What a fitting tribute to the animated classic Peter Pan and to the imagination that lives in us all. You just have to believe in it and follow the second star to the right and straight on till morning. Has that made you hungry? Here we are in the British part of Fantasyland. And if you have a little penchant for certain specialities, don't hesitate to stop at Toad Hall Restaurant. This eclectic establishment is full of nods to the Disney classic The Wind in the Willows and offers delicious fish and chips. But be careful not to let Mr. Toad drag you into one of his infamous habits. Because we have a date with one of the most iconic characters of Disneyland Paris. Well, of all Disney, Mickey. Would you like to meet him? Amazing! Meet Mickey Mouse is right next door, in the British Music Hall. With shimmering lights, red and gold carpets, and hand-painted sets crafted by show professionals specially for Fantasyland. Mickey rehearses his latest magic tricks, surrounded by his costumes and accessories. Let's imagine we're meeting him now, to the sound of Steamboat Willie, Mickey's very first animated short. After fish and chips and a show, we should have a little dessert, right? Do you hear that? I feel like we're being called for tea. Did you see that? A white rabbit. Funny. He was looking at his watch in a panic. He disappeared into Alice's curious labyrinth. Let's follow him. Did you know the yews and box trees that make up the hedges of the maze grew for 2 years in Normandy, the land of Walt Disney's ancestors, before being planted in the park? This maze is an attraction unique to Disneyland Paris, where you can meet more than a dozen characters from the Disney classic Alice in Wonderland. The aim is to get to the Queen of Hearts castle. Be careful not to get caught by Her Majesty, or by her card-shaped guards. The Cheshire Cat did warn us about it. Here we are! Once at the top of the castle, you can enjoy a glorious view of Fantasyland. Hats off to the gardeners who have worked their hearts out to create this bright, fanciful layout of bushes, a colourful contrast to the greyness of Marne-la-Vallée. Some are even cut into the shapes of people. Sleeping Beauty Castle rises up before us, majestic, accompanied by its charming medieval village. And, look down! There's the White Rabbit again. Not a second to lose. Let's follow him. We've made it out of the maze. Phew, I really thought we were going to lose our minds. Or heads. Anyway, before us, a funny giant teapot waits in front of a charming inn. March Hare Refreshments offers deliciously sweet snacks for the merry on-birthdays. Don't worry, I asked. And the sweets are just as perfect for real birthdays too. A good snack. And a very merry on-birthday to you. Yes, Mr. Mad Hatter. I will have a cup of tea. Thank you, my dear. Oh, you want to continue the party? With great pleasure. Come on, let's go. A life-size tea party. How about that, friends? There, under the glass dome in the shape of a flower and the hanging multicolored lanterns, just behind the maze, the Mad Hatter's teacups awaits us. Giant teacups placed on saucers, themselves arranged on the large tray, are ready to be served. Choose your cup carefully, because the tray will soon start to Excuse my moment of fleeting madness. Let's get this tour back on track. Right to the left of the maze, in a little corner of the park, we enter Storybook Land. Look, there's Casey Jr., le petit train du cirque, the little circus train. Doesn't it look cute? And with this fully automatic design, you can even sit in the locomotive. Who wants to drive? If you look below the tracks, you can even see Storybook Land's second attraction, le pays des contes de fées. The train is now arriving at the station.
All passengers and circus animals must alight here. Thank you for traveling with Casey Jr.
Yes, that means you too, flying elephants. And tigers. As long as they're not afraid of water, all are welcome in Storybook Land. I promise we won't get wet. A little further down, a gigantic book awaits us. It's already open, as if a giant had started reading it before falling asleep. This is Le Pays des Contes de Fées, a charming cruise through miniature landscapes from Disney favorites, old and new, such as Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Frozen, Winnie the Pooh, Up, and Fantasia. I've always dreamt of walking in the land of the Lilliputians, like Gulliver. Notice that the boats are all named after female Disney characters. Do you know them all? I'm sure you do, because you are a real expert. The gentle rocking of the boat is sending me to sleep. Wake me up! It's no time to say goodnight just yet. Let's head to the northeast edge of Fantasyland. Can you hear that? This catchy tune leads us directly to It's a Small World, the biggest attraction in Fantasyland. It's a Small World was first built not for Disneyland, but for the New York World's Fair in 1964, for the UNICEF Pavilion. The immense colorful facade mixes shapes and styles from the world's greatest monuments, while its clock chimes every 15 minutes to signify the start of a vibrant parade of characters from all around the world. At Disneyland Paris, we see things on a grand scale, and it's the whole world that rings the bells. Inside, Venetian gondoliers take us on the most joyful of international cruises. We cross continents, from Europe to the Americas, passing through the bright sun of the Middle East to the warm tones of Asia, the starry nights of Africa, and the tropical breeze of Oceania. And to populate this magical world, it took 2 whole years of research and crafting to make more than 280 citizens in traditional costumes. A huge job that pays tribute to the beauty and diversity of the world. Because, as they say it so well here, there is just one moon and one golden sun, and a smile means friendship to everyone. If, like me, you are feeling a little peckish after this round-the-world cruise, follow me to Pizzeria Bella Notte in the Italian district of Fantasyland, just across from It's a Small World. By the way, if you look closely at one of the street's facades, you will notice an intertwined moon and sun, reminiscent of those found on the front of It's a Small World. What? Maybe I should sing the song. No? No, you're right. I wouldn't want to scare away the sun. Anyway, this Italian neighborhood is full of sunshine vibes. From the gentle village way of life in Lucca to the mandolin sounds of Tony and Joe's restaurant from Lady and the Tramp. All of Italy is served. If the entrance does not collapse, that is. Look how it leans. It reminds me of a certain tower in Pisa. And to digest your pizza, your pizza, in peace, of course, may I suggest you rest a little in the restaurant's courtyard. You deserve it. Ah, friends, it was a pleasure to share this moment of pure imagination with you. I have pixie dust in my hair and stars in my eyes. Now I'll just get you home with a wave of my magic wand. Then I plan on diving back into my dreams that, thanks to the magic of Fantasyland, will surely come true. If you enjoyed this podcast, please don't hesitate to like it or leave a comment. Which fairy tale lights up your imagination the most? I'd love it if you told me, please, in comments. And thanks again for listening. I can't wait to see you again for another audio adventure at Disneyland Paris. Until next time, friends.